In 2018, I built my first custom gaming computer, and ever since that day, it has served me beautifully. For the last 4 years, I've been using it for both productivity and gaming, but mostly gaming. Compared to what I was used to at the time, the computer was pretty beefy, and I actually think I have some of the parts lying around. These are the parts, and it has a Asus Prime B350 Plus motherboard, an AMD Ryzen 5 1600 processor, a Corsair CX650M power supply, and a Geforce GTX 1080 Ti. Prior to building the computer, I was pretty stressed out, since this was my first time ever building a computer. The parts costed me a lot of money, and I was of course extremely careful because I didn't want to break anything. Fortunately, everything went fine and it still works, so I had to have done something right. Recently, however, the computer has started showing signs of slowing down, especially when doing productivity stuff, like making these YouTube videos. Gaming, however, I'm not sure if it still holds up, since I haven't gamed in a long time. But when it comes to editing YouTube videos, it has clearly slowed down a lot. I'm just sitting here editing and I'm having a pretty hard time. Every now and then when I try to play the video, the whole app just keeps doing this. No response. It freezes and then nothing really happens. Then after some time it comes back, but it's very hard to edit with this since the video is almost unplayable. I think it has something to do with the memory. Since you can see here in Task Manager, I'm using 92% of the memory. 90% of the memory, and I don't think it's meant to be that way. So therefore I think I'm going to have to buy a new pair of RAM sticks to upgrade from 8GB to 16GB to see if this makes any difference. While we're sitting here waiting for the parts to arrive, let's go over to the computer. And I have a feeling that it's going to be a little dirty, since I haven't cleaned it in a long time. Here is the computer, and I can already see that it's pretty dusty, which makes sense since it's a very long time since I cleaned it last. But let's disconnect all of these cables so we can get the computer out of this room and into the garage where we can remove all of the dust without causing a mess. Yeah, I was correct. It is extremely dirty. So in order to get rid of the dust, I will be using an air compressor. This is a very handy tool when it comes to cleaning computers, since you don't have to get close to the delicate components. There is one thing, however, that you should be aware of, and that is that an air compressor sometimes can shoot out a little water as well, which I've experienced myself. So make sure that it does not do that, or else there is a risk of damaging your components. I'm currently editing the video you're watching right now, and I've had some time to test out the new hardware. First of all, it seems like the RAM was the root cause of the issue, since the editing experience is completely different. I no longer get the no response message, and the app does not seem to randomly crash, which is a big improvement to what I was having prior to installing the new hardware. This means that I no longer have to worry about losing a lot of progress, which is such a relief. There's no doubt that my 4-year-old computer has started slowing down, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to get a new one. That is the great thing about having a custom built computer. Sometimes all you need is to swap 1 or 2 parts in order to make it work as new again. It's for sure a lot cheaper to do it this way than buying a whole new computer. If you are experiencing something similar to what I did, it may be possible to resolve it by upgrading the RAM. This does of course depend entirely on the computer and what's causing the issue, but if nothing else has worked, it might be worth a try to see if this helps, because it did make a significant difference in my case. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that it was educational in some way or another, and I'll see you in the next one.